Hi, I'm McCall Wells. I'm 21 years old and I am from San Diego, California.
I'm Haley. I'm 21 years old and I'm from Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
I would consider myself more liberal because I don't know why. I guess it kind of has something to do with where I grew up. Being from California tends to be a more blue state, so that's probably why.
Yeah, and I consider myself more conservative. Part of that comes from like my family and like where I was raised. I think just about everyone in my family is Republican, but not just that, but like growing up, you know, the ideas made sense, giving people more power, stuff like that just kind of made sense to me. So yeah, it was kind of something that was passed on and then I kind of grew into. So for me, it'd be education. I'm really passionate about education reform. Part of that came from my experience in the education system and my ability to choose what schools I went through my entire life. So education would definitely be the thing I would want to talk about. So yeah.
Cool. I am really passionate about immigration. I think we need immigration reform. I lived super close to the border growing up, and some of my friends cross the border every day for school. So I kind of got to see that reality and realize that not a lot of people are as fortunate as they are to be able to do that. So I think more people need to be aware of that.
I think our options are honestly sad. As a Republican, I still can't endorse Trump or get behind just the things he said, even though it would be nice to have a Republican in the White House to do what I think, the good work that I think is being done by Republicans in the Senate and the House. There's just so many personal issues with Trump that I don't think we can elect someone like that to the highest in the land. I personally don't agree well enough with Hillary's policy views to vote for her. I think I might just sit this one out, to be quite honest. I wish Marco Rubio was still in it. But yeah, I think that the fact that these are our two options is pretty sad because I feel like everyone would be happy, and I think it's so interesting that either party could literally nominate any other candidate and they would beat the other side, which I think is such an interesting commentary on this election, that anyone would be happier with anyone else. So.
Yeah, I definitely see where you're coming from. I think the biggest thing for me about this election, besides the candidates, is just the divisiveness in this country.
Yeah.
Regardless of what happens and who gets elected, it's going to be Trump or it's going to be Clinton, and we're gonna 50% of the population is going to have to get over it, and we're going to have to find some way to kind of heal because we've just been yelling at each other for 2 years now almost. So I don't know how we're going to come back from that. That's what scares me, I think, right now.
I mean, I think just the fact that Trump got nominated as the Republican nominee, I mean, being a Republican, having worked in Republican offices, I don't know anybody who was expecting it. It was like, oh, okay, he's going to kind of mess things up for a few minutes and then, he'll get out or someone else will step in. I mean, even in August, I had a lot of people in D.C. saying that, oh, well, he's going to drop out by September and we'll put someone else in and it'll be okay. And so I left D.C. being 3 more weeks and we're good. But it never happened. And so I think just the strangeness of, the Republican side just waiting for this cavalry to come in and replace Trump, and it just never came. So I think that was most striking, that it never ended. It's like a nightmare.
No, I think I want to piggyback off of that because the fact that he was nominated and that, I have so many Republican or more conservative friends who don't support him as well. So we're who's voting for him? It says something about I don't know, a whole sector of this country that maybe is not feeling like they're getting listened to.
Yeah.
There's a reason that he was elected, and there's bigger issues behind that. So I guess we need to start listening to those people and why they feel left behind, and and another thing, this is my first election. Is this your first election, Monday? Yeah. So it's really exciting, and so that could have something to do with why I'm so into it. But I also think it scares me a little bit that I get so competitive with it, and it's my liberal identity is so much of who I am, and I feel I need to fight, conservative sometimes, where it's that's just one part of of who I am. And I'm sure we agree on more things than we don't. So so just the fact that I've been so consumed by it. No.
Not at all. And I think that's what's so interesting is that each time they come in with facts and figures and stingers for the other side, I mean, they both have such canned responses to each other that they come in expecting what each other's going to say, and they have a response planned out for it. And I think that inhibits listening, because if we came in today and I knew what you were going to say, then I would be able to have something in mind, ready to come back with. So I think that it stops any actual dialogue, because if you're trained as a candidate to have something to come back with, you're not going to be able to listen, because you're thinking, oh, she said this word, that means that my next talking point is this. So yeah, I don't think they listen to each other much at all.
Yeah. I would agree with that, especially this campaign because it's so much more about scandal than a lot of things. At least with last night's debate, as crazy as it was, they started talking about policy things, the final debate, so that was kind of nice until they started bickering. So
we've had a good conversation. I liked a lot of what you said about immigration. It's nice to just be able to listen to each other, you know, that we didn't feel like we had to be attacking one another or anything like that. It's been really nice. But I think you made a lot of great points, kind of opened my eyes to things like about the vetting process and stuff like that. I think it's a good conversation.
I would definitely echo that. I sort of know Haley before this, you know, but even so, I was kind of nervous because because this election season is so divisive that I was like, oh crap, are we gonna be pitted against each other? You go, no, you go. But we're just, I don't know. It's really easy to talk when you know you can it's just a relaxed setting.
Exactly.
You know, it's not a competition.
Yeah.